So, good morning, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, today we embark on a journey of exploration, understanding, and discovery as we witness the proposal defense on the qualitative research proposal of the senior high school students of St. Patrick's School under the STEM strand, or the Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics strand. It's an endeavor that places students at the heart of research, aiming to unravel the intricate layers of their experiences, their very own perspectives, and the contribution to the body of new knowledge. As we delve into this proposal, we are setting out to investigate the dynamic and ever evolving world of research, seeking to shed light on the unique insights, the challenges, and aspirations. Doing research is not just an academic pursuit, it's a testament to the importance of our students' voices in shaping the present and the future. In a rapidly changing global landscape, our dear students play a vital role in defining the narratives of their generation, particularly in the area such as science, technology, engineering, mathematics, arts, the humanities, and business. This proposal is not just a collection of their ideas and the objectives, but a commitment to empowering our students to share their stories and participate actively in shaping their academic environment and beyond. It's a call for the collaboration between the student and the teacher, which would involve empathy and a deeper understanding of the complexities of a student's life. So, in the following processes, you shall witness the outline of their introduction, particularly chapters 1 to 3 of their research, their introduction, the methodology, the research questions, and the hopefully the expected outcomes of their study. And we invite all of you to join us on this exciting and meaningful journey as we seek to amplify the voices of the students. And I'd like to thank everyone for your presence and your support as we take the first step towards unlocking the potential and the perspectives of the students we serve. So let's embark on this journey all together this morning. So before I start, I'd like to welcome our dear panelists to help our student and to render their feedback. First, we have Dr. Keith from the Senior High School Department of St. Patrick's School of Quezon City, and Professor Mark Anthony Sustina from San Beda University. So our first presenter would be Kirat from uh, St. Benedict grade 11 class of STEM. So good morning, Kirat. So I'm giving the Zoom floor to you now.
Hello, sir. Good morning. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. You're audible, Kirat.
So, good day to everyone present here today. Before I proceed with my introduction, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed panelists, Mr. Keith Macalental and Mr. Mark Anthony, for participating in this defense and for your valuable time. I would also like to express my gratitude to our research advisor, Mr. Dari Ida Kanay, for their utmost support. A warm and blissful morning to you all, including my fellow classmates. My name is Kira Tor from grade 11 STEM St. Benedict, and today I will be presenting my research proposal entitled Climate Change Education, a case study of students' perspectives, actions, and learning experiences. Introducing, the study focuses on the contemporary issue of climate change, which can be natural or it mostly results from human activities like burning of fossil fuels. It underlines the uncertainty faced by the younger generation and their global mobilization for change. It also emphasizes the need to improve education on sustainable development, with outdated curricula, students eager for real-world learning. The study's main objectives are to examine the school projects related to climate action, if they are contributing to providing students with quality education, gather students' feedback, and understand the importance of international collaborations inside the institution. It will make use of a qualitative case study approach to explore these issues. Therefore, it will require a deeper exploration of students' experiences and their suggestions for improvement, a more concrete discussion of where current educational material falls short, and providing solutions and a more in-depth analysis. Then with the background of the study focuses, as mentioned earlier, on the climate change and its impacts on the youth. It emphasizes that climate change affects various aspects of life, including health, food safety, and work. And it is also a source of anxiety and fear for young people. They may feel overwhelmed when they are inadequately informed about climate change due to the exaggerated information they receive from diverse sources. To address this, it advocates for climate education in schools, emphasizing age-appropriate and engaging methods of teaching. These problems affect the lifestyle of youth internationally, which will require proper awareness and support to cope up with these situations. Statement of the problem. Climate change presents multifaceted challenges that affect the well-being and mental health of the youth. Yet the current senior high school educational system is inadequately equipped to address these pressing issues. Existing educational curricula exhibit three main deficiencies: a lack of contemporary relevance, failure to engage students in real-world problem solving, and obstruction for educators due to resource constraints. The urgency of this problem is evident, as without timely action, climate change will have detrimental effects on ecosystems worldwide. The general problem of this study is the inadequacy of current senior high school education in addressing climate change, and the specific problem include how SDG 13 can be properly implemented in the curriculum, while understanding the diverse student experiences. The study will answer three research questions. Number one, how is SDG 13 climate action implicated in the school curricula? Number two, what are the experiences of students dealing with climate change? And three, how have past international collaborations at St. Patrick's School influenced senior high school students' global perspective on climate change? This study will definitely benefit in critical and practical areas of the various stakeholders. It can benefit inside the school campus and even outside. It can benefit students, teachers, and school. And when looking outside the school, it can benefit the community, Department of Education, and also the country by contributing to the development of environmentally responsible citizens. Proceeding to the scope and the limitations, the study will focus only on the senior high school students within St. Patrick's School. As when we talk about youth, it is the period between adulthood and childhood. So these students are in a critical phase of their education and transition into childhood, making it imperative to address their awareness and understanding of climate change for the sake of responsible citizenship. By engaging with the student, the research seeks to pinpoint deficiencies in the existing educational curricula, understanding the personal experiences of students, and explain the role of international collaborations. Then chapter 2, review of related literature, which is organized using thematic analysis, where we organize similar themes together and group them and connect them together. So the study made use of 6 themes. Number 1, it talks about the profound impacts of climate change. 2, it talks about the significance of climate change education in proper mitigation and adaptation. And number 3, how integrating climate change education into the school curriculum can benefit us all. Number 4, challenges in implementing climate change education into the school curricula. As it is always stated, it isn't easy to do this as it seems. It will require a lot of time, effort, and resources. Number 5, students' experiences and perspectives in climate change education, which will be very beneficial in shaping the system in that way. It will be beneficial in meeting the needs of the student. Number 6, youth mobilization, youth adult partnerships. It states that the youth can't do everything alone. There is a need for partnership with the adults, and there is a continuous support that is required. Basically, to sum up everything, the RRL, it states that climate change disproportionately affects vulnerable population, particularly the youth. To effectively combat its adverse outcomes on youth, climate change education is vital. It must go beyond conveying facts and instead empower students with knowledge and perspectives to confront the climate crisis. Mental health considerations are crucial, as climate-related distress impacts decision-making and well-being. Climate change education should provide emotional support and coping strategies as well. Integration into curricula is essential to achieving Sustainable Development Goal 13, climate action. Fostering a culture of environmental responsibility and encouraging students to address climate change. A proper climate change education is increasingly necessary to equip students with the awareness and skills to become agents of change in this complex issue. Then the theoretical framework, the study made use of 3 theories. Number 1, theory of constructivism by John Dewey. It states that education should be centered around the learner and their experiences. That means based on the education we provide to the student, we should know their age, their experiences, and how they're able to process that information. Then the social learning theory by Albert Bandura encourages discussion and the cultivation of a knowledge-sharing culture. This is where international collaborations are directly related, as when the students will interact with someone of their age from different backgrounds and different countries, they will be able to learn from them and relate with them. Then the experiential learning theory by David Kolb. It is basically learning by doing, means in the curricula or in the system, there should be more experiments, practicals, and hands-on activities. These 3 theories collectively create a comprehensive approach that encourages active engagement, knowledge sharing, and practical learning, preparing students to address the urgent issue of climate change. After that is the conceptual framework. For the case study, it is the input, process, output. So in the input, it is the profile of respondents, their age, where it will be conducted, and what are the major requirements. Then for the process, how the data will be processed, the data will be gathered using open-ended questionnaire, and the participants are collected using purposive sampling technique. Then for the outputs are basically the answers to the 3 research questions. Number 1, it will state the lack of implementation of SDG 13. Then the negative impacts of climate change on students left without proper education. And 3, the importance of global interactions. Chapter 3, research methodologies. In this chapter, all the details are provided on how the study will be conducted and the data will be gathered. First, the research design. It is case study. The author will be Robert Dean. So according to Robert Dean, a case study is one of the forms of social research. It is used when the main research questions are how and why. And all of my 3 questions starts with how and why. The researcher has little or no control over behavioral events, and the focus of the study is the contemporary issue. Then the locale, the study will be conducted in St. Patrick's School of Quezon City, as the students of this location frequently engage in international collaborations and climate change projects. And also on the time allotted for the entire research, it is also to make the data collection quick and readily available. The participants, The study will make use of 6 to 10 participants, which are collected using purposive sampling technique under non-probability. It will be from senior high school students from STEM and Hume Strand. So according to Criswell, there is no specific limit on how many participants you should have. It should depend on how much data you want to gather and on your research questions. Then the data gathering procedure. For the data gathering procedure, the data collection methods that will be used can be digital tools and face-to-face sessions. Then the research advisor's proposal was also needed before the data gathering. Open-ended questionnaires will be distributed to the school campus. And there was voluntary participation in the study. The data collection method. The method that was used to collect data was the open-ended questionnaires, which requires complete knowledge, feeling, and understanding of the respondents about the topic of the study. Open-ended questionnaires are free-form surveys that allow and encourage respondents in open text format. Then data analysis. It made use of thematic analysis, where a researcher closely examines the data to identify common themes. It involves examining, categorizing, tabulating, and recombining similar data. Then lastly, the ethical considerations, which are also a very important part. So the research adhered to research ethics, prioritizing participants' privacy and well-being. Before data collections, participants were provided with consent forms, which include the clear explanation of the study's objectives and the option to ask questions or opt out. The questionnaires were designed to be straightforward, respecting participants' times and ensuring no bias or pressure. Data confidentiality was maintained and individual opinions and experiences were respected, preserving the accuracy and validity of the research result. So as finally I came to an end of this presentation, again, I would like to thank you, my panelists, my research advisor. Thank you for the support, and all the considerations that will be provided today will definitely make this research a more better. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your time and your attention.
Thank you very much, Kirat, for your presentation. Would like to hear from our dear panelists of their comments and their feedbacks. I'll start first with Professor Mark Anthony for his feedback, and later on we'll be calling Dr. Keith. Professor Mark?
Hi, good morning.
Hello. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, Kirat. Congratulations on your research proposal. You did it very well.
Thank you.
As seen in your presentation, you have a well-defined scope. I think your research focus on students' perspective, action, and learning experiences. Um, when it comes to your objectives, your research objectives are clear and aligned with the research scope. I think they guide the study effectively. And when it comes to your literature review, um, ensure your literature review is comprehensive and up to date to establish the research context and relevance. Um, your conclusion, I think, summarize the key findings and their significance concisely in your conclusion. And also, in terms of your citation, make sure to properly cite all the sources you use in your research to maintain academic integrity. And uh, I think in your SOP, you need to start it by stating the problem. Kirat, overall, you did an excellent research proposal. Also, in your scope and delimitation, can you please revise the paragraph on your mental health? Because you will not study mental health. So, lastly, in your synthesis, you might want to include the authors as well. I think that's all.
Okay, thank you po.
Thank you very much, Professor Mark. Would like to hear now from Dr. Keith. Dr. Keith?
Hi, Dr. Daddy. First and foremost, congratulations to our first presenter. Uh, as I do the listening a while ago, it is very clear that the presentation is technically ready to go forward to conduct the chapter 4 and chapter 5 of the research. I agree with the comments of Professor Mark Anthony. Just make sure that the conclusion and the recommendation will technically answer the title itself. I was able to um, observe that the uh, frameworks were carefully crafted, very good, because those are very much connected with the conduct of the research. Just I agree with Professor Mark Anthony to make sure that all your sources will be carefully listed, carefully cited in the chapter 2, so that there will be no technicalities when it comes to the chapter 2 itself. And I guess the introduction, uh, the introduction um, presented the totality of the research. We are looking forward that we're looking forward for the completion of the research. Once again, congratulations.
Thank you very much, Dr. Keith, for your comment. So, to our presenter, Keith, I think you did very well in the presentation. Congratulations. Please take note of the comments and the feedbacks um, suggested by our distinguished panelists. So, congratulations again, Kirat, on your presentation. Okay, congratulations. Very good. Okay. So you're now being given
Thank you,
this
sir.
book. Thank you as well. Okay. Galing. Okay. We will now proceed with our next presenter. Would like to call Mr. Achondo to present.
Rinig po ba ako, sir?
Yes, yes, you are audible. You can share your screen. While Jasper is preparing, I think the next presenter, then Daniel, or are you around, Daniel Vega?
Sir, am I audible?
Yes, yes. You will present after Jasper, huh? Okay. Okay, go ahead, Jasper. You can share your screen now, so you can start.
A pleasant morning to everyone, especially to our teacher in Practical Research 1, Sir Dari Dakanay, and to the panelists, Sir Mark Anthony and Sir Kit Makalintal. Before I begin my presentation, allow me to express my sincerest gratitude for giving your time and attention to make this proposal defense happen. Teacher perceptions and practices in climate change education, a case study of classroom approaches and challenges. My name is Jasper Lawrence Achondo from 11 STEM St. Scholastica. Chapter 1, Problem is Background. According to M. Ahmed et al. 2022, it concerns teachers' perceptions about climate change. It will also examine the significance of how teachers explain climate change to their students and the teachers' experiences with the impacts of climate change by interviewing selected teachers from St. Patrick's School of Quezon City. In addition, taking into account academic backgrounds and experiences with the impacts of climate change, research shows most teachers have heard about climate change and understand what it means. Climate change associated extreme climatic hazards are the most pressing issues in the world of climate emergency. It is now widely recognized that climate change research is important for education in the current climate emergency. In facing the adverse effects of climate change, educational institutions, particularly universities, play an essential role in creating and promoting knowledge and integrating climate change issues into their teaching and research programs, based on K.J. Ahmed et al. 2021. However, according to Chowdhury et al. 2021, one of the biggest challenges of the current century is climate change. Over the past 2 decades, the science behind and the social economic impacts of global climate change has been the subject of national and international research. So this study also seeks to uncover the myriad challenges teachers encounter while trying to impart this critical knowledge to their students. The aim of this research is to, first, conduct an analysis of teacher perceptions and practices in climate change education. Second, understand teachers' classroom approaches, and third, explore the experiences teachers face when teaching climate change. The study will make use of a qualitative case study. According to Gamelgard 2017, case studies are often used for inductive exploration of yet unknown phenomena, and suggest that case-based research should be evaluated not only on results, but on the entire research process that first and foremost must be transparent to the audience. Chapter 2, Review of Related Literature. This chapter examined the relevant information and previously published studies regarding the topic of the study. It was divided into 4 themes. First is the methods or approaches teachers use to teach climate change in their classroom. Second, obstacles or difficulties that teachers face when teaching climate change. Third, perceptions of teachers in climate change education. And fourth, practices teachers use when it comes to teaching climate change. Chapter 3, Methodologies. Research Design. One of the most commonly used methodologies of social research is a case study. Its application has expanded by leaps and bounds over the years and is now being employed in several disciplines of social science such as sociology, management, anthropology, psychology, and others. As mentioned by McCombs 2023, a case study is a detailed study of a specific subject such as a person, group, event, organization, or phenomenon. Case studies are good for describing, comparing, evaluating, and understanding different aspects of research problem. The study will be conducted at St. Patrick's School of Quezon City, Philippines. The location chosen will be a great help for the researcher to make the data collection more efficient, accessible, and convenient. The participants of the study will be teachers. The researcher will use non-probability sampling, namely purposive sampling. According to Nicolopolo 2023, purposive sampling involves choosing units for your sample based on their possession of specific qualities. In other words, in purposive sampling, units are chosen on purpose. The instrument will be used for collecting data are open-ended questionnaire. Open-ended are those questions that a sender makes to encourage one or several receivers to obtain some information in response. Open-ended questionnaires are a type of free-form survey question that encourages respondents to respond in an open text format based on their full understanding and knowledge. The detailed response to these questions is not limited to a set of options. Data gathering procedure will start with making a letter to teachers for permission to conduct a research activity inside the school and for them to be aware. To be followed by selecting teachers at St. Patrick's School of Quezon City. An open-ended questionnaire will be used for collecting data, and this procedure is helpful for the researcher in terms of gathering convenient and efficient information. This guarantees that respondents can react anonymously, which might result in more accurate and sincere responses. The data collected from the respondents will then be analyzed by the researcher. Overall, to ensure the validity and trustworthiness of the data collected, the process will be carried out with the utmost professionalism and respect for ethical standards. This qualitative case study will make use of a thematic analysis. According to Krieger and Barpio 2020, thematic analysis is a widely used yet often misunderstood method of qualitative data analysis. It is a useful and accessible instrument for qualitative researchers, but misunderstandings about the method's conceptual foundations and imprecise descriptions have made it difficult for researchers to use and embrace it. Ethical consideration. To ensure that the research is conducted properly and with respect, the researcher will apply the ethical implications of the study. Respondents' private information will be kept private and they have a right to privacy. The researcher will take measures to protect respondents' privacy and ensure that any data collected is securely stored. The purpose of the study, its advantages and disadvantages, and the respondents' rights will be described by the researcher. That concludes my presentation. Once more, I would like to express my gratitude to our teacher, Sir Dari Dakana, and to the panelists, Mr. Mark Anthony and Mr. Kit Makalintal, for your participation in the defense and for listening to my proposal. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you very much, Jasper, for your presentation. Would like to call first our first panelist, Dr. Keith. Dr. Keith, your comments?
Hi. Um, Congratulations, Mr. Achondo, for that presentation. We're looking forward to see uh, the result of your research soon. Lahat naman ng research teacher is very excited when it comes to the ending of our research. Several comments lamang regarding your presentation. A while ago, I saw during the introduction uh, the connection between two paragraphs. No, I guess you have to change, however, to further because there is no contrasting statement a while ago. It's actually what do you call that one? A connection between the first paragraph then the another one. Uh, so you have to take note of that. The use of contrasting and uh, the other one I forgot. The contrasting and the yeah, that one. So you have to take note of that. Then second, it's just a suggestion. It's just napansin ko lang yung themes number 1 and 4 sa chapter 2 is almost the same practices and methods. So you have to check on the similarity between the themes. No, for me it's almost the same. So there might be other themes that could be considered. So you have to check. Then last observation for the chapter 3, yung definition of thematic analysis. I guess there were several negative uh, technicalities there, so you have to avoid putting negative implication in the research because it can jeopardize the integrity of the research. So that's for my point lang naman yun. It might affect the integrity of the result of the research if we are going to. For instance, a while ago you discussed that it is commonly used yet often misunderstood. So if there will be readers na hindi masyadong aware of the context of that definition, it might be the entire context might be misunderstood. So you have to find another way in expressing that technicality. Then I observed that there is no theoretical framework and conceptual framework. I don't know if Dr. Dari uh, has to. I don't know if TF and TF is required to be placed in the research, but as I observed, there is no like, theoretical and conceptual. But overall, the presentation is very good. We're really looking forward on the result because that's a very significant research for us teachers. So it's very important research. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Keith, for your comments and feedback. So, to our presenter, please take note of the feedbacks and suggestions made by our dear panelists. Thank you. We're now going to proceed with the comments and suggestions of Professor Mark. Professor Mark?
Hi, good morning. Congratulations, Mr. Achondo. Okay. I think let me start with your title review. I think the title effectively convey the central focus of the research, highlighting the critical elements of teacher perceptions, practices, and the specific context of climate change education in classroom. Sir Dari, hindi ko lang nakita yung yung I think yung synthesis sa slides niya.
Uh, um, Jasper,
Meron
did
ba
you
siyang
create your synthesis ba?
Meron pong synthesis but pati conceptual and theoretical framework pero hindi ko lang po na-include
Okay.
sa
Okay.
presentation.
Okay, Mr. Achondo, your synthesis should summarize the key findings and their significance, emphasizing the contribution to the field of climate change education. So, in terms of your citation, you ensure that all sources are properly cited to maintain academic integrity. Overall, you presented a well-crafted research proposal, and I think we are excited for the completion of your paper. Um, in terms of your I have a question. In your data collection method, will you be doing an interview?
No po. It is an open-ended questionnaire like magbibigay po ako ng printed copies ng mga questionnaires to the respondents po.
Okay. Wait. I think Mr. Achondo, you need to do an interview because this will capture the answers to your research question. Hello, Mr. Achondo, you need to do an interview. Okay.
Sige, opo, opo.
One more thing. In your data analysis, how will you validate the answers of your participants to your interview questions?
Excuse me, what anong po uli, sir?
In your data analysis, how will you validate the answers of your participants to your interview questions? Okay. In your data analysis, the answer you have to go you have to go back to your participant and validate their answers. So, yun yung gagawin mo, Mr. Achondo.
Yes po.
Oo, ha? Balikan mo yung participants, tapos i-validate mo yung answers sila. Okay? I think that would be also Dari. Congratulations, Mr. Achondo.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor Mark, for the comments and suggestions. So, thank you very much to our two panelists for your inputs and your suggestions. They're all very well taken. They're all noted, and this would help our dear students in their process of their journey towards accomplishing their research for chapter 4 and 5. Thank you. Thank you very much, Jasper, for the presentation. I think
Thank you
you
po.
did very well. Okay, we'll now proceed with our next presenter. I think she will be second to the last. No, we'll call now Daniel Vega. Daniel.
Good morning, sir. Am I audible?
Yes. Can you make your voice a little bit louder, Daniel? You can share screen, Daniel.
Sir, can you see my screen now?
Not yet, Daniel. Daniel, you're from which section?
Sir, I'm from 11 STEM St. Benedict.
Huh?
11 STEM St. Benedict.
Benedict. Okay.
Sir, I'm already a share screen.
We cannot see yet your presentation, Daniel.
Sir, okay na po.
Wala pa, Daniel.
And po, sir. And po, sir. Okay na po.
Ayan na, Daniel. We can already see your We can already see your slide.
Good day, everyone. My name is Daniel Beck. I come from 11 STEM St. Benedict, and today I will present to you my proposed research entitled The Live Experiences of a First Time. Becoming a parent is a significant life event that can be both exciting and challenging. According to Brockington back in 2000, the transition to parenthood involves major physiological, psychological, and social adjustments for a couple, both positive and negative. While there may be joys in having a child and welcoming them to the family,
it comes with its own challenges. Despite the wealth of resources available, new parents struggle and experience feelings of confusion, anxiety, and uncertainty during this major life change. Hence the reason for this. This study's objectives are to increase our understanding of first-time parents through their lived experiences, to gain further insight on the unique challenges, adjustments that shape the experiences of parents during the transition to parent, and finally, to develop effective interventions and support systems to assist them in their journey of parenting. This research is also bound to benefit the parents. First-time parents would benefit from this research as it would provide them an understanding of challenges they might face in parenthood and potential coping mechanisms. Parenting educational providers, such as hospitals, community centers, and schools, can use findings of this research to develop programs that better reflect the real needs of new parents. Policymakers, such as those in the health sector, can use this research to develop policies that support first-time parents, such as extending parental leave and improving access to healthcare and educational programs. Family members of first-time parents would also benefit from the findings of this research, as it can increase the understanding of their experiences of their beloved is going through and how to offer appropriate support. Future researchers. The academia would benefit from this research as it would contribute to the body of knowledge and parent-related fields such as psychology, sociology, and family studies, and guide further research on the. Here's the scope and the limitations of the research. For the definition of terms, we have the postpartum, a period of after childbirth, the antenatal or prenatal, which is a period before childbirth, perinatal before and during and after childbirth, postpartum affective disorder, which is a mental illness that is typically found in parents. Depression is a disorder characterized by feelings of worthlessness and helplessness. Another symptom of this is the lack of interest in their daily activities and sadness. Anxiety is a feeling of is an uneasy feeling of things uncertain or strange. Social support is an emotional or informational assistance given to others by their own social network or relationships. Intervention is an action done to prevent something negative, usually perceived in the context of therapy or co-parent or shared parenting, which is a parenting done by two individuals. Neuroticism is a trait that is characterized by high levels of anxiety, self-doubt, and susceptibility to stress. Burnout is a state of physical, mental, and emotional exhaustion often caused by stress and overwork. Stress is the body response to challenging situations. It requires some level of adjustment or adaptation. Me time is time spent alone, often used for self-care or leisure activities. Stereotypes are the ideas or beliefs about a certain group of people given by society caused by social, cultural, or media influences. And parenthood means the state of being a parent. Here is the overview of the related literature, and that is characterized by four main points. The first point being the transition to parenthood. The second one is the mental health of first-time parents, where we discuss and find out the factors as well as the potential reasons as to why mental health is such a prevalent in this research. The parenting knowledge is also highlighted here as in this research. We also talk about the significance of it and how it affects the future. The interventions is also talked as it is, and the overall reasoning after all this. This is the theoretical theme, which is the family system theory, as well as the social construct. This study will make use of two theories, the family systems theory and the social constructivism. The family system theory, originally proposed by Murray Ball, which highlights the way families operate as interconnected units with each member having a unique set of responsibilities and roles. In the context of transition to parenthood, this theory may imply that arrival of child may disrupt the existing system, leading to creation of some role changes. The second theory that looks used is the social constructivist theory, which talks about the way knowledge develops by interacting with other people, their culture as their society, in which they reside, as presented by Berger and Beckman back in 1960. The choosing to parenthood is a complex process that involves both individual and social factors, and the concept of transition parent. This perspective suggests that parenthood is not a universal concept, but rather a socially constructed and completely systematic phenomenon. In this study, both theories work together and explain factors caused individually and socially. This series of the framework emphasizes the need for adaptation, the communication and collaboration within families. The significance of relationship, interaction, and identity were also highlighted along the role of societal norms, values that shape differential experiences, knowledge, and identities. This framework helps show the need for diverse and inclusive representation of families. This is the conceptual framework of the first bubble represents the end, which includes respondents' as by described in the paper. The second bubble illustrates the process of gathering the data and specifies the method used in the study. The third section represents the output of the research, or the results of the research questions. This study will make use of the qualitative research and the phenomenology. The qualitative research will make use of phenomenology. Phenomenological research is a qualitative research that seeks to understand and describe the universal essence of phenomena. The approach investigates the everyday experiences of human beings while suspending the research preconceptions of notions about the phenomena. In other words, phenomenological research studies lived experiences to gain deeper insights into how people understand those experiences. Film Capture back to 2022. The study will be conducted online, and there will be a total of 10 participants, all being parents with at least one child and past experiences with the transition to parenthood. The study will be limited to the Philippines, particularly in Quezon City, and will make use of the proposed sampling. Here are the research questions and the data collection method we use. As for the gravity, it will be using a open-ended questionnaire, and as for the data analysis, it will make use of thematic analysis. That is all, and thank you.
Daniel, are you done?
Yes, please.
Daniel, your screen is not moving. Wait. Yes. I think your screen is not moving.
Sir? Sir, ano po yung nasa screen?
Methodology. Is there something wrong with your ano? Can you move to the next ano slide?
So I think that's as far as I see. Yeah.
After your data collection method, what about your analysis?
Sir, as I've said po, I will be using thematic analysis. Sir, am I audible?
Yes, but we can. The panelists cannot see your actual slide on your analysis. Is that the last slide?
Sir, I don't think.
Daniel, is that the last slide?
Sir, wait. Hmm.
Iganyan mo na lang, Daniel. I think
Hindi
that's
na
your
po
last
ito.
slide.
Yeah. Sir, as I've said po, I will be making use of the thematic analysis for this reason.
And your ethical consideration?
Sir, as for my ethical consideration po, sir, it has been yet to approve po, pero at the same time po, sir, we will be making use of measures po, in which case we could provide and ensure confidentiality po of the the identities of the participants as well as the responses of their questions.
Okay, will that be it, Daniel?
Yes, sir.
Okay, can you end your slide?
Mm,
Okay, thank you very much, Daniel. Um, we'll ask Professor Mark to render his comments. Professor Mark?
Uh, Hi, Sir Dari. What's the name of the Daniel? Daniel, right?
yes, please.
Hi, Daniel. Congratulations. Okay. Um, okay. Let me start in your introduction. Uh, your FEN study would be live experience of a first-time parent. This seeks to uncover the multi faceted journey of individuals as they transition into parenthood. Um, I think the study undertakes a qualitative approach to tap into the subjective experiences of first-time parents. So, Daniel, in your theoretical framework, please elaborate the theories and its connection to your study. Also, also in your data collection method, will you be doing an interview as well?
Sir, I intend to use questionnaires po, so that I can provide po sir yung ano po. Kasi sir, kapag gumamit po sir ng parang interview po, there might be social desirability bias.
Yeah, I think in your data collection, I think it's best to do an interview. What do you think about that, Sir Dari?
Yes, I think it's needed because it's a phenomenological research. She needs to really capture and get really the experiences, because you cannot get the experiences just simply giving out the open-ended questionnaire. So just giving out the open-ended questionnaire, you might the actual participants might not be able to really give out, the needed answer for your interview questions or your research questionnaire. So the interview will be able to help out in terms of gathering the actual data needed in her study.
Okay. Also, Daniel, can you cite the author of your thematic analysis? Daniel?
Maybe you can look for the author of the thematic analysis, Daniel, huh? It's very important that what you put in the actual presentation or what you say, you should be able to explain that, huh, Daniel? Any other comments and suggestions, or Mark, in terms of
Um,
her methodology and her approach?
okay, wait. Okay. I think in her methodology and approach, uh, the choice of Feno is appropriate for delving into the rich and intricate experiences of becoming a first-time parent. However, I think the methodology section lacks clarity regarding the specific steps taken to ensure the rigor of the research. So including participant selection and data analysis method. So I think be mindful of the author that you will be using, Daniel. I think that's all, Sir Dari.
Any other comments, Professor Mark, with because her research is about first time first-time parents. What about in terms of selecting the participants?
Okay. Wait. Okay. In terms of, I think, Daniel, in terms of your participant selection, uh, the study's broad inclusion of first-time parents from diverse background is needed. So it attempts to capture a wide spectrum of experiences. So nevertheless, the lack of a clear rationale for participant selection raises questions about potential bias and representativeness of the sample. So I think that's for the participant selection.
Let
Sir
me
Dan.
clarify, Professor Mark. So in the participant, she has to clarify, particularly like a criteria, no, a criteria on how she would be able to include the participants needed in her study. Is that the way you're trying to say it, Professor Mark? The
Yes,
criteria.
Sir Dan. Correct.
Okay. Sige. Thank you very much, Professor Mark. Would like
Thank you.
to hear from Dr. Keith.
Hi po. Once again, good morning. And congratulations, Daniel, for that presentation. I'll start with a question. What makes you do this research? Of all the titles available across the field, why is it you want to find out the experiences of those first time parents?
Sir, as ano po, parenting po is a very common thing and it's been something that has been researched multiple times by many people. However, sir, even though there's an abundance of research po, most of it is done abroad. And so there is a lack of information in the local context po. In which case po, sir, ano po, important po siya kasi po, sir, the I think one of the factors po, sir, that I realized po is um the cultural and then the environment po, sir, na kinalakihan po ng parent might also be a way po to that may also be able to help in shaping po the beliefs as well as the mannerisms po, sir, na um, meron po yung parent niya.
Okay. Kasi, syempre, this kind of research is technically, alam mo yun, parang beyond your ang tawag dito, it's beyond your experience as a student, but it's a good research because it will technically unfold several uh, information that can be useful, lalong-lalo na sa mga, lalong-lalo na sa mga first-time parents. Let me just give several comment regarding the presentation na lang siguro since the technical are already presented a while ago. So number one, I guess next time you have to complete the details that has to be presented during the presentation. The primary concern here is that yung mga binabanggit mo kanina is not uh, well presented a while ago. Do not forget that one because uh, those uh, uh, those details are very much important during the presentation. On the other hand, you presented it well, but the presentation slide itself has to be revised. Then do not forget to put your citations whenever you present uh, data analysis theories. For example, you presented theories a while ago. So don't forget to put the citation because it will enhance the integrity of the research itself. Then
Sir,
I'm talking about the presentation slides, anak ha. Although it's written on the paper itself, uh, mahalaga na nakasulat pa rin ito sa presentation. Okay. I don't know if Sir Daddy has other way of doing that one. Pero medyo sanay ang circuit so lalo na sa graduate school namin na we have to put it. Then yes, I agree with the idea of Professor Mark Anthony a while ago that we have to set specific criteria sa pagpili natin sa first-time parent kasi there might be misconception. Baka isipin nila yung research natin ay ang mga respondents ay mga alam mo yun yung mga high school or senior high school na na
Circuit. I think Circuit had technical difficulty.
if
Ayan. Circuit.
the experience of first-time parents na high school at yung experience ng nasa 30s at nasa late 40s ay magkakaiba. So we have to make it specific. Yan lang. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Sir Keith. So yeah, thank you, Daniel, for your presentation. Please take note of the very important comments and suggestions given by our distinguished panelists. So as you can do the necessary revisions in your chapters 1 to 3, and later on be able to accomplish the remaining parts of your research. Thank you very much, Daniel.
Thank you, please.
Okay. Next is Dustin ready to present? Or who's this one? Isabel? Are there anyone from the Zoom room who is ready to present?
Ako po, sir.
Okay. Go ahead, Salvador. You can share your screen. Okay.
A pleasant morning, everyone. Greetings, Sir Dari, and to our honorable panelists. Good morning po. So, I am John Clarence Salvador of 11 STEM B, and my title is Living with Asthma, Exploring Students' Experiences, Coping Strategies, and Perceptions. So, Chapter 1, the problem and its background. So, wait. Asthma is a heterogeneous airway disease characterized by clinical phenotypes, biological endotypes, triggers, and comorbidities. In 2019, an estimated of 262 million people were affected by asthma and caused 455,000 deaths. Until now, asthma has been relevant, affecting over 300 million individuals, carrying a high morbidity and mortality burden this year. People with asthma experience major effects in their daily life, with people struggling to manage their asthma symptoms and the considerable comorbidities that come along with severe illness. The strain is both physical and emotional. This emotional burden results from these physical effects, which, wait lang po. These emotional burdens result from these physical effects, which affect not just the person experiencing them, but also their relationship with friends, family, and colleagues. However, over time, patients develop their self-management skills, learning from both personal experience and external resources like the internet. Some routine behaviors like taking medication develop into habits. Asthma patients being aware of their symptoms made personal adjustments and activity restrictions, either of their own volition or on the advice of medical professionals. For example, they reduced their exposure to circumstances or locations where they were worried an attack of symptoms might occur or where they were concerned that having asthma might restrict their abilities such as vacations, sports, or other active pursuits. This study aims to understand the students' experiences living with asthma, explore their coping strategies in facing these experiences of living with asthma, analyze how they perceive living with asthma. This research follows a method of ethnographic study. An ethnographic study is a qualitative design which entails studying individuals in their own environment in order to gain an understanding of their experiences, viewpoints, and customs. The problem of the study is the inadequate literature on students experiencing asthma. According to Naman et al., for an age group where children are just beginning to take on personal responsibility for their chronic disease care, no study to date has attempted to understand students' experiences and perspectives regarding managing asthma at a school as a whole. The purpose of this qualitative ethnographic study is to explore the experiences of asthmatic students, understand how asthmatic patients perceive living asthma, analyze their coping strategies and approaches with asthma. The problem of the study will be answered by the following research questions. How do students with asthma perceive and describe their daily experiences living with asthma, including its impact on their academic and social lives? What role do family dynamics and support systems play in helping students with asthma manage their condition while pursuing their education? How do students' experiences and perception of asthma change over time as they progress through their education? And how does this impact their self-management strategies? According to Stanesco et al., asthma symptoms, exacerbation, and triggers are linked to a lower quality of life. Fatigue, activity restriction, detrimental impacts on relationship and social life, and decreased productivity. 3 to 7 individuals with asthma are up to 6 times more likely to experience anxiety or depression than the general population. Brittle asthmatic who struggle to regulate their condition and experience frequent severe attacks exhibit even more comorbid conditions and dysfunctional coping mechanisms. Despite being highly connected with poor asthma outcomes, psychological disturbance is frequently overlooked in primary care, including quality of life and asthma management. Severe asthma has a wide-ranging and diverse influence on people's physical, emotional, and social well-being. Hence, it is impossible to gauge the illness burden solely by death and morbidity rates. The possibility of behavior change, such as improved adherence to medication and physical exercise, which may be helpful for symptom control, can be increased by taking into account the patient's perspective. Asthma sufferers can prioritize the issues they believe are most important through shared decision making, which improves the result. In the study of Castagnoli et al., most asthma patients can achieve satisfactory long-term control with the combination of controller therapy and relief medication. The majority of asthma patients have mild or moderate asthma, which can be adequately controlled by avoiding triggers and or using medications like short-acting inhaled B2 receptors agonists, inhaled corticosteroids, and if necessary, long-acting B2 agonists, uh, Leukotriene. Scope and delimitation. The research will identify asthmatic students and analyze their experiences, coping strategies, and perception of asthma in school. The study will focus solely on junior high and senior high school students at St. Patrick's School of Quezon City and will be done on campus. The result of the study will be a great benefit to the following. For school, it can help to spread awareness about asthma and know what approach they should take made to provide help to students who are experiencing and are fighting asthma. This will provide the students an awareness and knowledge of asthma for asthmatics. And for asthmatic students, this will give them a sense of comfort knowing that they are not alone and just like them, multiple individuals are fighting asthma. For teachers, this will help them assess their asthmatic students and know how they'll be able to provide help. Furthermore, the teachers will be able to create a healthier environment for the students, providing a better quality of life. For community, this will give the community a broader understanding of asthma, as well as enlightenment of its impact to the patients. It will serve as an opportunity for the public to acknowledge and the burden of asthma, hopefully to also take measures in helping to fight the disease. These are the terminologies and the definitions that are used in my study. asthma control barriers, coping strategies, exacerbation, inhaler, perception, quality of life, severity, and treatment. So let's proceed to chapter 2, review of related literature. My chapter 2 was arranged thematically. It consists of 4 themes: barriers to asthma management, coping strategies of asthma patients, experiences of asthma patients, perception of asthma patients. The review of related literature first tackled the barriers to asthma management, addressing multiple challenges and issues that inhibits proper asthma management. In this theme, lack of knowledge and financial issues were highlighted as the main barriers resulting to a difficult living for the patients. The second theme explores the coping strategies of asthma patients. Diverse line of coping strategies were collected by the researcher, emphasizing the difference of approach depending on the patient. Asthma patients with effective coping skills tend to have a better control of their disease and better long-term disease management. Second to the last, the third theme addresses the experiences of asthma patients. Majority of the patients recognize asthma as a burden that separates them from other people, causing a detrimental impact to their quality of life. Asthma interferes with their daily lives and is associated with mental health disorders as well as physical burdens. Lastly, assessing the perception of asthma patients. Majority of the study collected claims that illness perception was strongly associated with asthma control. Stimulating positive sickness perceptions and medication beliefs may thus enhance adherence, which may lead to improved disease control and quality of life. In conclusion, these themes highlight the burden that asthma provides to the patients. Knowledge of the lived experience of patients provide awareness and help the world to know what approach it should take in helping these patients. This study hopes to enlighten those minds, as well as to inspire not only asthma patients, but all types of patients to move forward in life. Next is theoretical framework. Social cognitive theory. This theory provides a causal model in which self-efficacy is designed to impact human behavior, both directly and indirectly through other mediating processes like as result expectation, social support, and self-regulation. In the context of asthma, it is suggests that self-efficacy or belief in one's ability to do a certain activity is the most common avenue for behavior change. The next theory is ventilation perfusion mismatch. It happens when the lungs are unable to adequately transport oxygen to the blood due to problems with either ventilation or perfusion. Typically, lung illnesses have an impact on both blood and airflow. Low ventilation and virtually normal perfusions are the result of lung disorders like COPD or asthma that can reduce airflow with little impact on pulmonary blood flow. Because the ventilation is more severely impacted than the perfusion, this is referred to as reduced VQ ratio. Next would be the conceptual framework. Conceptual paradigm of living with asthma. This illustration represents the individual living with asthma and its variables: perception, daily experiences, academic and social lives, family, and impact. Using a conceptual paradigm, the researcher aims to analyze its relationship to the individual living with asthma. The first variable talks about perception, daily experiences, academic and social living. People with asthma may become more attuned to their own health, constantly monitoring their breathing and being aware of potential triggers in their environment. This heightened perception can cause anxiety and stress. Asthma can lead to daily challenges such as managing medication, avoiding triggers, and experiencing symptoms like wheezing and shortness of breath. These challenges can disrupt daily routines and affect overall quality of life. Lastly, asthma can impact academic life by leading to absenteeism and can affect social life by causing avoidance to some physical activities, resulting in the feeling of isolation from the peer group exercises. The second variable is family. Family plays a crucial role in supporting their members living with asthma. Having a supportive family can help alleviate stress and worry when dealing with a chronic ailment. However, if the approach of the family is negative, it can prove more difficult for the individual fighting asthma. Without the support of family, the disease may develop to be more severe, ultimately causing physical and mental deterioration for the individual. Lastly, the impact of asthma on its patients. Asthma can create emotional stress and worry, especially during exacerbation. It is upsetting to be afraid of not being able to breathe properly. Because of the fear of exacerbation or attacks, asthma can disrupt everyday activities, limit physical activity, and diminish overall quality of life. Chapter 3, Methodology. This study will make use of a qualitative ethnographic study approach. Then it al assert that qualitative research investigates and provides more in-depth insights into actual issues. Participants' experiences, opinions, and deeds are gathered in qualitative research. It addresses the hows and why rather than how many or how much. According to Sharma and Sarkar, ethnography focuses on identifying and describing a group's or individual's culture, also known as cultural ethnography or cultural anthropology. It is one of the most significant qualitative studies in which the researcher observes or interacts with the target population and plays a significant role in obtaining useful cultural information. The St. Patrick's School of Quezon City will serve as a site for both the research and the data gathering of the study because it is accessible and has a respectable student population, both of which are advantages for the study's data collection. Students from St. Patrick's School of Quezon City, notably those in the junior high school and senior high school department, will take part in the study. This is due to the fact that the study researchers believes it is appropriate for these department students to participate in the study as they receive less support from adults, leading to a need for asthma management. According to Campbell, purposive sampling is used to select respondents that are most likely to yield appropriate and useful information. It is a method for discovering and choosing cases that will make the most efficient use of the limited research resources available. In the case of this study, I'll be selecting participants who relate or are experiencing asthma. Data collection methods. The following are the research questions. Number 1, how does asthma affect your daily life? What are the common coping strategies that you use to manage your asthma? Are they effective? What are your perception about asthma and how it affects your life? How does the severity of your asthma affect your experiences, coping strategies, and perception? The study's data collection approach will be interview. According to EDOC, interviews are used to collect information from individuals one-on-one, utilizing a preset set of questions or a list of interest areas. Interviews are frequently taped and transcribed. They can be structured or unstructured. They might be inspired by a loose set of questions that encourage interviewees to express themselves more freely, or they can follow a rigorously planned script that mimics a survey. Uh, to acquire richer data, interviewers must actively listen and ask, probe, and prompt further. The first stage, this is the data gathering procedure. The first stage will be carried out with the assistance of the advisor since the researcher has little knowledge of which students are dealing with asthma. If the potential participants agree to participate in the study, the researcher will set the date for the interview through Zoom or on-site depending on the preference of the participant. Finally, the researcher will then conduct a professional and ethical analysis of the information gathered from the participants. This ethnographic study will make use of a thematic analysis. According to Kiger and Varpillo, thematic analysis is a qualitative social data analysis method that involves searching a data set to identify, recommend analysis, and report recurring patterns. It is a method of describing data, but it can also create a mark that implies interpretation in process to select new code and build a team. Before the data collection occurs, the researcher will inform the class advisor of the selected senior high school class. For middle school departments, the researcher will send a letter to the department head requesting permission to collect data from middle school participants. Participant identification data will be anonymized and participants will be named pseudonymously. The researcher will transparently and honestly explain to each participant the purpose of the study and the procedures to be followed. That concludes my presentation. Again, it was an honor. I understand how valuable your time is, and I am grateful that you were able to spend it with me.
Thank you very much. Yeah, can we? Okay, I'd like to ask Dr. Keith. Dr. Keith, your comments.
Hello po, and good morning again. Congratulations, Mr. Salvador, for that very excellent presentation. I was listening, and I guess I have no any questions. um, una, the theories to be used were actually connected to the research itself. The research has a very noble cause, and we all know that many of our students are actually experiencing this kind of illness. Siguro dala na rin ng ating climate change, ano. As as per my suggestions, wala akong may suggest because it's done well. The paper and the presentation is actually we're actually excellently made, ano. But several comment na lang siguro. Number one, uh, I guess I would like to suggest that you have to put um, uh, validation process on how are we going to validate the situation of the student, because may ibang estudyante na they will say they are asthmatic pero hindi naman. No? So you have to, I guess you have to put that part para hindi ma-jeopardize yung result ng research natin. Ano? Then one very small uh, comment regarding your participant, doon sa part ng participant, nakita lang naman to ng sir, yung sabi mo doon is yung I'll be selecting. So you change it with the researcher will be selecting, etc. etc. Then siguro, I guess you have to um, rephrase the part wherein you are, ano yan, I guess you have to, you may rephrase the part wherein you are citing here that this is due to the fact that the study's researcher believe it is appropriate. So you are stating a fact, yet the fact came from the objective, the perception of the researcher. So I guess you can revise this one because you are uh, making a subjective statement na hindi dapat nating gawin during research. No, kasi you stated here that believes it is appropriate to participate in the study because they receive less support from adults. So what led them na mag-receive ng less support from adults? So you have to state here if it is fact. But if it's a subjective statement, you have to find another statement for this. Yun lang, once again, the presentation was made well. It is excellent. Congratulations. And thank you very much.
Thank you po, thank you po.
Thank you very much, Dr. Keith. I'll just read the comments of Professor Mark. He is currently having an important call right now. So his main comment has something to do with he was asking for the author DAO that you will be using in your research. He is asking, be mindful of the specific author because you are using an ethnographic research. He made mention here to specifically use Spradley, James Spradley. It's very important. You have to quote James Spradley in your research, in your chapter 3 in the research methodology. And specifically in your data gathering procedure, you have to use Spradley or James Spradley's data gathering procedure. There are around, I think, steps that you have to be able to follow, such as selecting the participant, the selection of the participant. You have to establish rapport with your actual participants, asking grand tour questions. Um, you will have to asking mini tour questions as well. You are going to ask structural questions, and you will ask also contrasting questions. Of course, you will have to record the data, and you have to consult multiple informants, um, not just two, but several informants. And then, as James Bradley made mention in his procedure, you have to cross-check and do validations. And if you can do also triangulation for the credibility of your data, and using sources and methods, and you must maintain objectivity and avoid imposing your very own biases. I think there's also a question by Professor Mark. Are you asthmatic ba daw?
Opo. Actually, yun po yung reason kung bakit ko tanong. Dati po.
So ayan, you might be a little bit biased in your study since you yourself would be asthmatic, no? Yun lang naman ang main comment niya. You have to use James Spradley's data gathering procedure because you made mention of other authors, but I also remember that you have to be able to use Spradley as your main author, so as you will not be confused. Okay, so yeah, thank you very much, Professor Mark, in checking the author, which will be very helpful to uh, the researcher. So I think that's it. Yeah, thank you very much to our presenter on his research about the lived experiences of students with asthma. Congratulations. Okay, we'll now proceed with the next. Who is ready? Aryan or Dustin? Sige, Dustin. Dustin, you can share screen.
Wait, sige po, sir. Wait po.
Maybe because there's a delay and because you saved it in the Google Drive pala. Sige. And we can see now your screen. It's loading already. Okay. Okay, go ahead, Charles.
Um, Good day, Sir Dari. Good day, everyone, especially to our dear panelists. My name is Charles Dasinas Aquino. The researcher are here to propose the research project titled The Live Experience of Senior High School Part-Time Workers on Their Academic and Personal Life. Chapter 1, Problem and its Background. Introduction. In today's generation, most of our young people nowadays are struggling because of being a working student. Grado et al. 2021. A working student is now recognized as an established fact rather than as an observable phenomenon, and it has been one of the major problems among institutions. Grado et al. 2021. Being a working student is stressful, most likely in balancing your social life in time for family, school, and work. Figuring out how to manage the pressure that pursues being a working undergrad and ensuring you have no less than one night of a week can bring down your stress levels 10 times 10 times. Mitchell 2016. Senior high school students are now working part-time to help them in their financial needs in school. Ensley 2015. According to the findings of the study conducted by Williams 2014, the reason why students work is due to the budgetary need meet a quick or basic necessity and to help the understudies in their future objectives. According to Ramento 2011, states that the low educational attainments of the students in the city of Davao were due to a low salary, which leads the students to combine working and studying. Thus, the students that have financial problems are spending more time working than studying. And because of this, they attain poor grades and poor performance in school. However, Filipino students are still able to support themselves financially through working, although they have financial problems. According to the Working Student 2016, to set down the job options of Filipino working students, namely online jobs, paid corporate internship, fast food crew, and school jobs. This was supported by the study of Pur and Elling 2002, where the reason why the students work part-time is due to financial problem. The aim of this study is to first understand part-time employment affects the academic performance and personal lives of senior high school students. Two, explore the various factors that motivate senior high school students to take on part-time employment during their academic years. Three, understanding of how part-time jobs influence both academic and personal dimension of senior high school students' lives. The study will make use of qualitative case study according to Abenoa et al. 2019. This study explores how the students create ways to maximize their time in working and in studying. The said study also aims to investigate and identify students' experience while working. Background of the study. Students engage in part-time and sometimes full-time employment while studying is becoming a normal phenomenon everywhere. Curtis and Shani 2002 believe that students who are working part-time will most likely miss lectures and feel that they could achieve higher grades had they not been working. School life is very important part of one's life because it provides opportunity for study and discipline. Education is very important to a Filipino family. They really work hard to send their children to school even they cannot support them financially. Many teenagers leads to work while studying to support themselves and also their families. Affably et al. 2020. According to Farouk 2011, the aim of education was not only the attainment of knowledge but also the attainment of happiness or goodness in life. He stated that education was about knowledge nor happiness of life. Education is very important to a Filipino family. They really work hard to send their children to school, even they cannot support them financially. Many teenagers leads to work while studying to support themselves and also their family. Many students feel that taking on a part-time job will distract you while studying. Caldwell 2019. Working while studying could have positive effects on one thing and negative on another, and that it would affect different kinds of students differently. Lederman 2009. Cabrana 2013 found that an increase in the number of full-time students who are employed can be attributed to a desire to minimize loans and debts. Chapter 2, Review of Related Literature. In this chapter, explored relevant data from earlier research that had been published in relation to the study's topic. There was 3 themes. First, balancing academics and personal life. Second, student performance in academic. Third, personal life challenges affect the mental well-being of part-time senior high school students. While existing studies have examined the effects of balancing academics and personal life, there's a need for further investigation into specific challenges and outcomes experienced by full-time senior high school students who also work part-time. Many students have focused on college students, but there is a gap in understanding the unique challenges, coping mechanisms, and outcomes for high school students who balance both academic and work responsibly. Additionally, limited research has explored the long-term effects of such dual roles on their academic performance and well-being. This research aims to bridge this gap by delving into the experiences of full-time high school students who work part-time and how it affects their academic performance, mental well-being, and long-term prospects. Chapter 3, Methodology. This chapter introduced the procedure that is used in this study in investigating the experience of senior high school part-time workers on their academic and personal life. Research design. Research design. A qualitative study is used in this study. It is a subjective report which made utilization of phenomenological way to deal with accumulating important information. This approach concerns about understanding and interpreting the meaning that participants provide to their everyday lives. DeVos 1998. The qualitative design manages information that is principally verbal and gets significance from the participant point of view, and also expect to comprehend the meaning of individuals append to their daily experience. Faber Higson, 1995, DeVos 1998. Local of the study. The study will be conducted at St. Patrick's School of Quezon City, ensuring the safety and well-being of the participants is of paramount importance to provide a secure and supportive environment for data collection. And all ethical guidelines are strictly adhered to. Participants. The primary participants in the study will be senior high school students who are currently enrolled within a specific local. Includes students working in various types of part-time jobs, such as retail, food service, tutoring, babysitting, or any other relevant work. Sampling technique. The researcher will use a purposive sampling involves selecting participants based on specific criteria that are relevant to the research question. It is particularly useful when you want to capture a range of experiences and perspectives related to your research topic. Data gathering procedure. These are the procedures that the researcher will do before collecting the data. First, the researcher will ask for permission to interview. Then, the researcher will ask their social media accounts to send their link of Google form where the researcher created an interview guide with open-ended question related to their experience with part-time work, academic life, and personal life. Lastly, the researcher will ensure that the question taken is answered and honestly and seriously. Data collection method. Our our, da- our instrument using is open-ended questionnaire. In this study, the open-ended questionnaire will be the main tool for systematic data collection. It contains items or standardized questions that direct a formal interview process and guarantee focused data collection on particular topics. The face-to-face individual interview is used to gather data. According to Pereira et al. 1988, the most crucial data gathering method is interviewing. The interviews were semi-structured, hence a series of questions and issues to be discussed are prepared before the discussion, and semi-structured interview is used in this qualitative study in which it gives the researchers an opportunity to clarify pertinent issues and questions that occurred during the interviewing process. This type of interview also allows the researcher to read the nonverbal communication and reaction which is necessary for data analysis. Data analysis. By using the Patik content analysis method, outcomes have been processed by EZI 2000. Describes this type of data analysis method as bridge of analyzing data by sorting its classification through themes, concepts, or similar features. Thematic analysis is widely used, yet often misunderstood method of qualitative data analysis. It is a useful and accessible tool for qualitative researcher, but confusion regarding the method's philosophical underpinnings and imprecision in how it been described have complicated its use and acceptance among researchers. Tiger and Barpio 2020. Ethical consideration. Ensure that all participants is had given the researcher consent to interview them and be sensitive to the emotional and psychological well-being of the participants, especially when discussing potentially stressful topic related to part-time work, academics, and personal life. Provide access to counseling or support resources if participants become distressed during the study. Thank you. That's all. And especially thank you to Sir Dari for listening and to the panelists. And thank you, everyone.
Okay, thank you very much, Dustin. We'll start first with the comments of our first distinguished panelist, Professor Mark. Let me just read his comments. The first question is, why do um, why do a study about part-time student workers? Are you a part-time student worker, Dustin?
Many of my friends po uh, are working students. So, yun po kagad yung naisip ko na phenomenological na study po.
Okay. Second is your research design, no? Um, um, Focus on the specific research design author uh, said here. Please focus on either Georgie or Colaisi as your as your research design, they will help you in the specifics of your data gathering procedure. So please take note of Colaisi and Georgie. I think it was also not made mention in your research design, no, of either Colaisi or Georgie. Um, Also, your citations, Dal. Uh, Please check on your citations, especially if it's already outdated, like I think 1998. May nakita yatang 1998, so please check on that. Updated citations. And uh, also in the thematic analysis, um, as previously mentioned by Sir Keith, there are negative, I think, expressions or words that was used in explaining the thematic analysis. You might want to uh, revise it accordingly. I think that's it for Professor Mark. Thank you, Professor Mark. We'll now proceed with Dr. Keith.
Okay po. Thank you very much, Dr. Dari. Again, so once again, good morning and congratulations to the presenter. I joined the comments of Professor Mark regarding the citations. Yes, meron po talaga na 1998, 2000, so it's beyond the 5-year limit na supposed to be we have to adopt, lalong-lalo na sa citations natin. Lalong-lalo na sa data or literature na idadagay o ilalagay natin sa research natin. Then kanina meron ako nakita Dustin na nakasulat lahat ng pangalan ng author. It's in the introductory part, sa introduction. So, meron tayong procedure na pwedeng i-adopt for that. Like, you just find one, then put et al. The usual thing na ginagawa kapag may more than two or more than three na author. Kasi meron ako nakita doon, it's about 4 names ata, 5 names. You know, Garado, Indoctivo, Rodriguez, Villahermosa, Villegas, 2020. Ayan, no? So, you have to follow the rule of citation. Then, last but not the least, yung sa chapter 3 natin, I guess you have to put validation, lalong-lalo na dun sa mga nagpa-part-time working student talaga. Maganda na nagsulat ka na naglagay ka, nag-include ka ng ano ba yung mga usual part-time jobs ng mga na pwedeng ma-engage yung mga classmates natin. Pero at your end, as the researcher, you have to make validation kung talagang nagpa-part-time ba talaga sila. Kasi baka mamaya, nautusan lang ng tita, mag-review ka ng anak mo. Can we consider that one as a part-time job? So we need to make criteria in order for us to validate if they are really engaged in part-time job. Kasi usually, yung pinaka usual part-time jobs na meron yung students natin ay, for instance, they are engaged in Grab, yung delivery app, yung nagbabike. So, yung iba sa nagbabantay ng milk tea shop, nagbabantay ng potato corner. Kaya lang minsan yung milk tea shop, pag may-ari ng kamag-anak, bantay ka doon, punta ka muna doon. Baka kasi tingin ng bata or ng classmate natin, that a part-time job. So you have to clarify what is the difference between a real part-time job and a, alam mo yun, yung naiutos lang sa atin ng kamag-anak natin or ng kakilala. So far, yun lang naman yung observation ko. Then yung nabanggit ni Dr. Gary kanina, yung negative implication or yung negative statement sa uh, content natin, you have to avoid it para hindi magkaroon ng compromise sa integrity ng research paper. That would be all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Keith. Yeah, Dustin, congratulations. Can we request you to end your share screen?
Thank you po, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Sir. Thank you
Very
po, sir.
good. Okay, so Aryan,
Yes, sir.
Aryan, can you now um, are you ready to present?
Yes, po.
Okay, you can share your screen now. Thank you. Okay, go ahead. I'd like to present our next presenter, Arian S. Padrigo, with her topic exploring the experiences and coping mechanisms of student cyberbully victims, a qualitative study. So, Arian, the floor is yours.
Good morning, everyone, especially to our esteemed panelists and Sir Dari, and to everyone else in this Zoom meeting. My name is Arian Espadrigo from 11 STEM St. Benedict, and here to propose my research topic on exploring the experiences and coping mechanisms of student cyberbully victims. Here's a quote from Ana Maria Chavez saying, "Unless and until our society recognizes cyberbullying for what it is, the suffering of thousands of victims will continue." Chapter 1, Introduction. Technological advancements has greatly evolved, offering numerous opportunities for both professional and recreational purposes. Social media platforms, tools, and algorithms have transformed communication and connectivity, leading to increased social media consumption, especially among adolescents and students. Social media has transformed how individuals, communities, and organizations exchange information. Students use online platforms for creative content creation and interaction, enriching connection with peers. This has changed how the landscape of digital content creation, with students using platforms like TikTok and Facebook to showcase their talents and create an online presence. While social media fosters expression and connection, it can also be a breeding ground for inappropriate expression and bullying. This is called cyberbullying, which involves harassment and humiliation through digital technology. It poses a significant threat to students' mental well being and online reputation. The study aims to explore the experiences of cyberbullying victims, assessing its impact and coping mechanisms. 2. Analyze the psychological, emotional, and social effects of cyberbullying. And 3. Understand the specific experiences, coping mechanisms, and long term consequences faced by victims of cyberbullying. This study employs a qualitative phenomenological approach, focusing on capturing the lived experiences of students targeted by cyberbullying. By gathering and analyzing their descriptions, the study seeks a deep understanding of how these individuals cope with and experience cyberbullying. Background of the study. Research indicates a significant prevalence of cyberbullying among students, with most witnessing or experiencing it. This is concerning due to the psychological and real-world impact, including anxiety, depression, self-harm, or suicide. Factors like personality traits, social media use, and indiscreet posting are potential predictors of cyberbullying. Personal characteristics like gender and sexual orientation can make students more vulnerable to cyberbullying. Victims of cyberbullying should be discouraged from using avoidance coping methods, making it a primary focus of interventions to help them address and take care of their cyberbullying experiences. This is the statement of the problem. The problem of the study is the limited knowledge of the harmful impacts of cyberbullying on students. In the digital age, online platforms and technologies have provided individuals with opportunities to widen their creative expression through content creation and social interaction. According to Get et al. 2022, cyberbullying harms individuals and organizations. Its adverse consequences include anxiety, depression, stress, burnout, increased physical and mental symptoms, etc. With the rise of technological advancements rapidly growing, the harmful aspects of online platforms also rise. The problem of the study will be answered by the following research questions. Number 1, what are the long-term effects of cyberbullying of students' health, well-being, and creative output? Number 2, what coping mechanisms do students use to deal with cyberbullying? And number 3, what role can online platforms play in preventing cyberbullying against students?
This is the scope and the limitation of the study. It only focuses on understanding the experiences and coping strategies of students who are victims of cyberbullying, aiming to analyze the psychological, emotional, and social impact on these individuals. The research is limited to senior high school students of St. Patrick's School in Quezon City. The participants for the study will be recruited through Google Form surveys sent to various student groups with a specific question if they've been cyberbullied. Those who have experienced cyberbullying and are willing to participate in the study will remain anonymous. The study scope is solely on the experiences and coping mechanisms of student victims of cyberbullying and does not explore the perspective of the perpetrators. The goal is to provide valuable insights into the already existing knowledge on the social issue. Chapter 2. For this chapter, the research topic is divided into 5 themes to further explain on why cyberbullying is such a big social issue. The themes are divided into cyberbullying on psychological and emotional impact, academic and educational consequences, coping mechanisms which may include emotional intelligence, personal development, social media blockage, and then, lastly, the role of online platforms in preventing cyberbullying. This is a synthesis. Technology advances have made online platforms a significant part of students' lives, but they've also given rise to cyberbullying enabled by digital anonymity. Youth, especially students, are vulnerable, and cyberbullying takes various forms, leading to severe psychological and emotional consequences. Cyberbullying has adverse academic effects, including concentration difficulties and lower grades, with potential long-term consequences. Coping mechanisms such as emotional intelligence, personal development, and technical solutions are crucial, but there's a need for further explanation, and online platforms can contribute to prevention. The study highlights the lack of insights into the experiences and coping strategies of senior high school students, emphasizing the need to understand the unique challenge faced by this specific age group in the context of cyberbullying. Now, moving on to the theoretical framework of the study. The Bartlett-Gentile cyberbullying model proposed in 2012, BGCM is a theoretical framework that highlights the importance of positive cyberbullying attitudes in predicting future cyberbullying actions, emphasizing that such attitudes are more likely to form when online aggressors believe that they can harm others anonymously. This theory connects anonymity perceptions and the idea that physical appearance doesn't matter, both of which predict cyberbullying attitudes. This framework is valuable for understanding and addressing cyberbullying behaviors and can inform intervention programs aimed at reducing cyberbullying incidents. Number 2, the general strain theory. Proposed by Robert Agnew in 1992, GST suggests that individuals experiencing anger and stress may engage in criminal or deviant actions, which could include traditional or online bullying, as a means to alleviate their emotional strain. This theory is relevant to the study as it helps explain the potential motivations behind cyberbullying and can aid in understanding the emotional and psychological impacts on victims, as highlighted in the related literature review. Next, the general aggression model proposed by Anderson and Bushman in 2002. GAM is a comprehensive framework that considers various factors such as social dynamics, cognitive processes, and biological influences to explain aggressive behavior. It focuses on how personal characteristics in the environment shape thoughts and emotions, impacting decision making. GAM could be applied to understand cyberbullying, examining the emotional responses of victims and bystanders in the online context. And it can also help raise awareness and mitigate aggressive behavior by highlighting cognitive and emotional factors involved in online interaction. Lastly, the social ecological theory proposed by Bronfenbrenner in 1979. The SET explains how a young person's behavior is shaped by social characteristics and various environmental factors, including family, peers, school, community, and society. This theory is frequently used to understand bullying dynamics, with interactions in these environments influencing whether someone becomes a bully, victim, or bystander. Recognizing the long-term effects of cyberbullying is essential, and the social ecological perspective provides a comprehensive understanding that informs more effective prevention and support strategies, emphasizing the interconnected nature of this problem. Now let's move on to the conceptual framework of the study. This conceptual framework integrates three theories: the social ecological, the general strain, and general aggression, to comprehensively understand student cyberbullying experiences and coping mechanisms. This framework may provide a foundation for researchers and professionals to explore the various factors contributing to cyberbullying, aiding in the study and mitigation of this issue. Additionally, it can guide counseling and educational programs by identifying effective coping strategies tailored to individual context. Let's move on to Chapter 3, which is the research methodology. For this research design, the study uses Qualitative's phenomenological approach, which aims to uncover the authentic experiences of the subject under investigations. It involves a structured process of reviewing accounts, extracting significant statements, formulating underlying meanings, organizing them into themes, and creating a comprehensive description. The study focuses on understanding the experiences and coping strategies of student cyberbully victims through in-depth exploration of their first-hand accounts. The locale of the study will be conducted at St. Patrick's School in Quezon City, Philippines. The school was chosen as the place for study for its efficiency in gathering participants who are victims of cyberbullying in the senior high school department. Furthermore, the research will use the data gathered to answer the research question of the study to find out the lived experiences and coping mechanisms of student cyberbully victims. The participants. The study aims to target 6 senior high school students of St. Patrick's schools who are victims of cyberbullying. The researcher will use purposive sampling, a non-probability technique, to select participants based on their relevance to the research topic, allowing for an in-depth exploration of their experiences and coping mechanisms. For the data gathering procedure, it will be collected in a face-to-face manner, with the researcher obtaining approval from the research advisor. A questionnaire created in Microsoft Word will be distributed to potential participants through Google Forms, and participants will be informed of the study's objectives, methods, and asked for their consent. Confidentiality and adherence to ethical guidelines will be maintained. The researcher will also seek permission from teachers and students and provide a consent letter for willing participants, ensuring that data is handled confidentially and ethically. For the data collection method, the open-ended questionnaire will be used. The study will utilize an open-ended questionnaire to collect information. Questionnaires are structured sets of questions that serve the research objectives by systematically gathering quantitative data, ensuring consistency and suitability for in-depth analysis. For the data analysis, the researcher will employ thematic analysis to examine qualitative data, a method frequently used in qualitative studies to identify recurring patterns of meaning. Using a descriptive phenomenological approach, the study will extract meaningful insights from raw data, organize them into patterns, and develop themes aligned with the research objectives. The primary focus of this research is to explore the experiences and coping mechanisms of student cyberbullying victims through thematic analysis of real-life experiences shared by individuals. Lastly, for the ethical consideration, this research emphasizes ethical considerations safeguarding the participants' rights and privacy. Informed consent will be obtained and strict measures will be in place to protect personal information. The data will be used exclusively for academic purposes, analyzed professionally, and maintained with transparency and integrity throughout the study. That concludes my research proposal for my topic, Exploring the Experiences and Coping Mechanisms of Student Cyberbully Victims, a qualitative study. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ariane, for your presentation. Okay, we'll be able to call first Professor Mark Anthony. I will just read his comments. First, he's asking questions about your introduction. It seems that her introduction doesn't seem to have citations. So I think, yeah, I've noticed that you do not have citations. It is important that you have citations in the different parts of the composition of your introduction, from the context to the contrast, okay, to the content. Please take note of that. In the background of the study, there are no citations as well. So Please take note of that in the citations. Uh, Sir Mark said that you have a well-crafted statement of the problem. In your research questions 1 and 3 seem to be similar. Um, Sir Mark is suggesting your research question number 3 to focus on this one. What role do educational institutions, parents, and online platforms play in preventing cyberbullying? And how do these factors affect the coping mechanisms of individuals? I will read the suggested research question number 3. What role do educational institutions, parents, and online platforms play in preventing cyberbullying? And how do these factors affect the coping mechanisms of the students? Uh, Sir Mark said that he is applauding you because you have used in your research design an author specific, particularly Colizzi. In your participants, I think he has a concern with regards to your participants. How will you select, or how will you find those students who are bullied? Uh, and concerns about also the data privacy. But although you make mention it in the ethical considerations, so those are the comments made by Professor Mark. Thank you very much. I'd like to call Dr. Keith. Dr. Keith.
The presentation, and so the way on how Miss Arian presented the presentation. Ang ganda ng boses mo, no? Pwede kang maging video DJ. It's very suitable. Anyways, the presentation was made excellently. It is very timely because marami sa atin ngayon ang nagde-depend na no sa internet, and it seems that cyberbullying is really on the rise. Ika nga, hindi lang bata actually yung nakaka-experience ito, even those who are adult na-experience it. I have no other concerns, but I have the same concern with the citation from introduction up to the background of the study. Sa background nga ata parang isa lang yung nabigyan ng citation doon, yung pinaka-last. So sana the rest have citation. Then we have no
Yes,
problem
President.
when it comes to, thank you very much. We have no problem when it comes to the years ng data, since it's all within the 5-year mark. Then may I suggest lang siguro, um, kasi yung mga senior high school medyo malalim na yung isip, ano. Just a suggestion or just a thought. Yung mga senior high school medyo malalim na yung utak niyan. They know what is the difference between cyberbullying and a joke. But if you focus your participants from junior high school, kasi sila yung very much exposed sa lahat ng online platforms, pero they are not very much aware on the limitations, and sometimes sila yung victims ng cyberbullying compared to senior high school na palaban na, and alam na kung ano yung difference between joke and cyberbullying. Siguro just a thought, baka mas magandang maging focus natin ay yung junior high school. Then yeah, tama yung sinabi ni Professor Mark kanina na how are we going to identify if the student ay naka-experience ng bullying. I was to say na sana meron tayong criteria para ma-validate natin kung yung student ba ay naka-experience ng cyberbullying. Kasi yun, doon papasok yung sinasabi natin na baka mamaya it's just alam mo yun, a perception pero hindi naman pala. No? So we have to put criteria to avoid compromises sa integrity ng results. So far, yun lang. I admire the voice, and the presentation is very clean. It's very formal. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Dr. Keith. And yeah, Aryan, please take note of those very relevant inputs, comments made by our dear panelists. Thank you very much and congratulations. You can share. You can end the share screen. Okay. Yeah, I think who else? Isabel. Isabel, are you ready to present?
Sir, can
Are you
ano po?
ready? Huh?
Is my mic ano po? Is my mic clear po?
Yes, yes, you are audible.
Okay, so wait lang po. I'm gonna paste the ano lang, the link.
Okay.
From tab and wait lang po, sir.
I think si Isabel will be our last presenter, no?
Sir, can you see po my presentation?
Ayan, we can see it na. Isabel.
Okay. Sige po. Sir, ano pa po ba ako? Like, clear pa po yung mic ko?
Yes, 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 we can hear you.
Because
We can
I'm
hear
not
you.
seeing ano pa eh. Okay, wait lang po. Wait lang po, sir. Okay, so as for the introduction, good morning everyone, good morning Sir Dari, good morning panelists, as well as to my fellow patricians. To formally begin this, um, proposal defense that we bring in myself, I am Isabel Margaret B. Cortazano from 11 Saint Scholastica, the researcher for today that will be presenting research proposal titled Exploring the Social and Emotional Dimensions of Senior High School Students about Sex Education. Chapter 1: The Problem and its Background. The teaching of sex education in school system is a controversial topic. As a result, state statutes regulating sex education, as well as methodologies used in sex education curricula, vary widely. Gender et al. 2018 to 2019. Incompatible definitions, objectives, and ideologies have long characterized sex education, making it difficult to comprehend and evaluate its efficiency. Lieberman, PhD, 2021. A crucial but divisive public health and policy topic in schools is sex education. The need for and acceptance of formal education for adolescents on life-saving items like contraception, condoms, and sexually transmitted illness was influenced by the rise in concern about non-marital adolescent pregnancy beginning in the 1960s and the pandemic of HIV/AIDS after 1980, Comrade 2016. Youth now rely heavily on social media and online groups for communication, and the widespread adoption of these tools by younger people has sparked a global discussion about their possible implications on intimacy and sexuality. Intimate relationships, sexual anatomy, sexual reproduction, a critical approach to development should be provided in the future in order to promote a safer use of social media in sexual education interventions, where emotions and feelings and not only the increase of informations are deepened by young people, together with professionals. E. Tudara et al. 2018. Sexuality and emotional relationships constitute one of the most important dimensions of the achievement of personal autonomy and emotional well-being. Despite advances in sex education, sexuality, and relationships remain conflictive areas in the development of young people. Itarte et al. 2020. Okay, so as for the aim of this study, it examines the sexual education programs in senior high school and examines the perspective of high school students about this kind of topic to help understand if these students are in favor of introducing this kind of topic to the educational field. And for the last one, it aims to investigate the social and emotional aspects of sex education in senior high school students. Chapter 1. The problem, the study rather, will make use of qualitative case study. According to PRIA 2020, case study is one of the most commonly used methodologies of social research. Its application has expanded by leaps and bounds and is now being employed in several disciplines of social science such as sociology, management, anthropology, psychology, and others. Sex education is basically about understanding sexual and reproductive rights, making healthy decisions about sexual life, and attaining high standards of sexual health. Banerjee et al. 2022. Cognitive and emotional changes that triggers individual desire to explore who they are and
Excuse me,
who they
Isabel. Did you present your research questions already? Is this the background of the study?
Yes po.
Where is your research questions?
Andito po, sir.
No, no, no. Di ba in the statement of the problem, where is
Oh,
the statement of the problem?
sir, I forgot to include po, pero I do have a research question.
Please state it because what is written in your slide, dapat ano yun? It should synergize what you say and what you present in the slide.
I apologize po for
Yeah.
the...
Can you state your statement of the problem? Because
Okay,
this will have an effect in your presentation.
okay po, sir.
Okay,
I'm
go
sorry.
ahead.
So as for the scope and delimitation, the scope of this study is to identify and analyze the social and emotional remarks.
Isabel, you go ahead with your ano na, with your statement of the problem.
Statement of the problem. Wait lang po, sir. Sir, can I proceed na lang po sa PowerPoint?
No, that will be very crucial, Isabel. Kasi you have to present your statement of the problem, which would enlighten our panelists and even the research questions. Importante yun, Isabel.
Sir, wait lang po.
Do you have the actual PDF of your research so you can share screen it?
Yes, sir, I do have po, pero I am actually using, ano po, another laptop. So, the other, ano po. And ito po kasi yung mga, ano ko po.
Kulang, Isabel.
Sige po.
You cannot proceed. Please read. Importante yun.
Yung statement of the problem na lang po, bali yung pinaka-kulang.
Oo, importante yun, Isabel. That's one of the most important one.
Statement of the problem, sir, is SOP, di ba?
Yes, yes.
Sir, I have SOP po kasi hindi ko po na-include po sa
Then
our...
read it, Isabel.
Okay po, sir. So, ganito na lang po, sir. Present na lang po ako through face-to-face interaction.
No, read it now. Read it now. Wala ba dyan yung statement of the problem, eh?
Sir, I have po, pero nasa paper po.
Wala kang copy? Wala kang copy?
I have po sa Gmail.
If you have a copy, you can read it now.
Okay. Wait lang po, sir.
Basahin mo na lang. Otherwise, some of your parts would be will not be significant, not unless yung inyong statement of the problem and nandiyan, ha?
Sir, ito po yun, diba? Yung scope and delimitation.
No, that's different. Scope and delimitation is not the statement of the problem.
Wait lang po, sir. Hindi ko po talaga mahanap.
Dapat nandiyan yan. Remember when you do your paper, di ba yung sa statement of the problem of the study is...
Wait lang po, sir.
Diba after ng introduction, immediately is your statement of the problem. After your statement of the problem, would be your background. And then later on, yung ibang parts na, like the significance of the study, the scope delimitation, and the definition of terms.
Sir, I forgot to include it po.
So wala. Oh, sige, sige. That should be included, Isabel. Otherwise, will not be able to allow you to go further kasi hindi mako-connect yun.
Opo, sir, pero I do have SOP po.
Saan na nga? You should have the copy. Wala kang copy?
Wait lang po, sir.
Diba I told the class to have the PDF copy of yung slides ninyo and the actual chapters 1 to 3.
Opo, sir.
Oh. Find it na para you'll not be able to present na face-to-face.
Wait lang po, sir. Sir, face-to-face na lang po siguro ako magpe-present kasi hindi ko po talaga mahanap.
Pero you have your chapters 1 to 3.
I do have my chapters 1 to 3.
Oh, if you have your chapters 1 to 3, the statement of the problem should be there.
Opo, sir, pero I forgot to include it po.
No. Dapat nandun yun sa 1 to 3. Otherwise, you have not done your SOP. Hanapin mo nga. You can find your yung pinaka-manuscript mo.
Sir, yung pinaka nagawa ko lang po kasi is sa chapter introduction, background, significance, and yung scope and delimitation as well as definition of terms.
So you have to do your statement of the problem. Otherwise, hindi mako-connecta lahat yan, Isabel, ha?
Opo, sir.
You have to
Sige
double
po.
check your because hindi mako-connect ng ating dear panelists yung your overall study if the research questions and the statement of your problem is not being presented. Ha? Please go
Opo.
look for it and figure it out, okay?
Opo, sir. Sir, this will be the last naman po, di ba?
Oh, you can end share screen na. You can end
Yung
your...
last virtual meeting po.
Yes, because kasi masyado kayong marami. So I decided to ask the others to present already.
Sige po.
Okay, sige. Thank you very much. Can you end share screen?